What is up, Bears fans? Welcome to the Chicago Bears Huddle podcast, guys. I'm Owen James, and this is all your latest Bears news, your UK take on all things Chicago Bears, guys. As we are approaching, we're less than 24 hours away from the game tomorrow night, as the Bears take on the Dallas Cowboys at Soldier Field, seeking to get our first win of this NFL regular season. Can the bad news Bears beat the Cowboys with their very good offense and their pretty sucky defense? It's going to be probably an offensive battle at Soldier Field, although the weather doesn't look particularly great ahead of the game. Now, one of the things I think we're hoping is that Caleb will continue that progression and development that we've seen over the last 2 weeks. Now, I think, seen Caleb move forward. Yes, it isn't as massive steps as perhaps we would have hoped for. It isn't, the steps perhaps that we'd hope for from a number one pick as of yet, but this guy undoubtedly has talent. This guy undoubtedly has some ability to move this team forward. He is, let's face it, the best hope we have on the roster at this moment of time of being the quarterback, of being the guy to lead the Bears forward. There is no one else. Yes, he was benched to some degree against the Lions last weekend, or taken out of the firing line, and Bagent was put in. Now, I did kind of think that maybe the Bagent baddies would be a little bit louder coming out of that about Bagent replacing Caleb, but they haven't been perhaps as loud as we would have thought they would have been. But look, Caleb is making progress. Even Ben Johnson himself has said that Caleb is moving forward and perhaps actually been taken off and taken out of the firing line, taken off the field. Given the quotes that he said, and we'll talk about those quotes in a moment, may have an effect on Caleb and may light a fire to really go out there against the Cowboys and make the Cowboys suffer. I mean, let's face it, our defense, given the injury report, is not good at all. Especially with the news today that Kieran Amagaji and Jalen Johnson have been placed on IR today. That is, not great news, is it at all? It's just been actually revealed as I was making this video. Chicago Bears on Saturday have announced that the club have placed offensive lineman Kieran Amagaji and defensive back Jalen Johnson on reserve injured, and signed defensive lineman Tanyo Campasino to the active roster. I think that is a move that needed to be made given the Bears' lack of edge rushing ability. And we've elevated defensive back Dallas Flowers and linebacker Carl Jones Jr. from the practice squad to the squad for Dallas Cowboys. So the defensive back Dallas Flowers is in there. Look, it's still not enough. I don't think it's still not enough talent, given that Jalen Johnson is out. But look, at the end of the day, we have to do something moving forward. Just a quick note on Flowers. Flowers joined Chicago's practice squad prior to week 2. In his 4th NFL season, Flowers has appeared in 23 career games, starting 5 in the secondary for Indianapolis Colts 22-24, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2024, joining the Bears after spending training camp with the San Francisco 49ers. Interesting news there. But bad news that's obviously that both Kieran Amagaji and also Jalen Johnson, as we expected, are now on IR. But getting back to Caleb, which we were talking about, you look at his 24 stats against his 25 stats, there's development there. 37 out of 66, 267 passing yards, no TDs, 2 interceptions, played the worst team in the NFL in one of those games. That was in 2024. In 2025, he's 40 of 65, 417 passing yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception, played 2 teams that won 14 plus games in 2024. The progression is there. So all those fans hating on him, all those fans saying that he's a bust, all the Bagent baddies calling for him to be benched. Guys, get some perspective. Tyson Bagent ain't the answer. He's a QB2. That's all he'll ever be. Guys, I'd rather take Case Keenum as QB1 if it was that Caleb get benched. And Caleb ain't getting benched. Even if we're 0-8, he ain't getting benched. Get that into your heads. He is the best hope, the only hope of this franchise at this moment in time of moving forward with a successful quarterback. He has the skills. He has the ability. Let's stick with him. Let's show him some faith. And I'm hoping that, like I said, him being taken out of the firing line, him being effectively benched to some degree against the Lions will have an impact on him, will light a fire under him and make him come out swinging, make him come out fighting against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday. And it'll be the Cowboys that suffer the backlash, hopefully. I mean, look, I do think we need to put other things in place. Yes, his relationship with Roma Dunze has been absolutely excellent. We need to somehow get a running game going with obviously with the situation around with the situation obviously around D'Andre Swift, coming out of Friday practice, he is questionable for Sunday's game. I mean, let's face it, D'Andre Swift's been questionable all season. But hopefully that means Kyle Manungai gets more touches, Roshan Johnson gets some involvement. And I'm confident that if we get Kyle Manungai more involved, I think we'll have a better running game, which will give Caleb more of a chance to get the play action going and more of a chance to use his receivers. I'm also hoping that there's more of a role for Colston Loveland, who's been underused so far, and more of a role for Luther Burden. I think if they're schemed in and we get more use of them, particularly use of Loveland and Komet against a very weak Dallas Cowboys defense over the middle, I think we can make hay, certainly with the Cowboys. Now, Caleb was talking about that fact that he was taken out against the Lions. And I think given these quotes, you'll see that it doesn't sit well with him. And it may have even lit a fire under him to some degree. This is what Caleb had to say. It sucks your guys out on the field and you're not. So it's clear he didn't like the fact that he was taken out, that his guys, as he calls them, his team, his boys, were out there with Tyson and they weren't out there with him. It hurt him. And that's frustrating because you put in so much time, energy and effort that those guys are out there still battling and you're on the sideline. So it's kind of like he felt like to some degree he was letting his team down, he was letting his boys down, he was letting his guys down, and he didn't like that. And hopefully that's going to show him that, you know what, I don't want to feel that again. I don't want to ever be in that position again. And I'm going to make sure that going forward, we stay in a position where we will fight, we will compete. Now, I don't think for a minute, don't get me wrong, the defeat to the Lions was anywhere near on Caleb. Caleb was a long way listed down what went wrong in that game. The majority of what went wrong in that game sat with A, the defense, and B, Braxton Jones, for me. But it was the coach's decision. You've got to move on from it. In that situation, I'm thinking, how can I help this team, this offense? So it's clear that he's not a guy who's going to sulk. He's not going to turn a Mardy. He's not going to throw a strop. He's not going to throw his toys out the pram. He's going to stay focused on helping his team. He's a team guy. And after all, he's a leader, he's a captain, and that's what you want from your quarterback. He went on to say whether it's me saying something on the field or to whoever, or whatever the case may be, just to get the momentum going, get us going, get this team rolling. So it's clear that there is a fight in there. There is a fire in there from Caleb, that he wants to get this team moving, that he wants to move forward, that he wants to keep progressing. And Ben Johnson's certainly given that message in all his pressers, that Caleb is learning, Caleb is getting better. So for me, we've got to stick with Caleb. He is the only option. And I think Caleb hopefully has had a fire lit under him after that benching and that he will come back on Sunday against the Cowboys stronger, ready to fight, ready to go and take it to those Cowgirls. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching Chicago. Thanks for watching me in the UK talking Bears. Bear down.